Okay, so I cast a chart for the solar eclipse today on the 10th of June 2021. The one that I'm looking at is for my location, although here in Australia we actually won't physically see the solar eclipse. But I just cast it to see where the energies are affecting my particular area. It'll be similar across the plane, but some of the houses will change slightly due to location. But I just did this one for the location where I am, which is in southeast Queensland, Australia. So this is just a very informal, off the cuff, just looking at it. I haven't really studied it too much. I just printed it out and I'm just having a quick look, and I just want to have a little talk about the energies that are at play with this eclipse. Now, the first thing you'll notice is the ascendant is in Aquarius. Funnily enough, it's 9 degrees, 9 being completion, the completion number, the number of God. And 33 minutes, that magical, powerful number 33. And in Aquarius, so as we come into we're in the dawning of the age of Aquarius. So that was interesting to note. And also having Saturn conjunct the ascendant. Saturn, obviously, those that know astrology, rules the status quo, structure, the business world, the academic type world, the politics, all that sort of stuff. All the stuff that we are now seeing breaking down, actually. So that's very interesting that's conjunct the ascendant. And also we've got Jupiter there in the first house. Now, we did have Jupiter and Saturn conjunct back in December of 2020. The 21st of December, and for quite some time they were conjunct, but Jupiter has now slipped into Pisces, so that's bringing about a greater awareness of compassion and spirituality, and it's a lot softer energy. Now, the actual eclipse is in Gemini. So we have the sun, the moon's node, and Mercury in Gemini. And in this case, in the chart that I've cast, it's in the 5th house. So exoterically, like just the lower, more mundane, physical attributes of the 5th house would be about children, sports, arts, theatre, pleasures and hobbies, romance, social activities, things like that. It's the house that's naturally ruled by Leo, and the moniker for that house is I Create. It's the house of creative energy. But on a higher level, it rules the heart, and it's also about personal will. So this eclipse is touching on our heart centers and our personal will. So that's how we can use this energy. Now, eclipses are seen as foreboding, negative, bringing bad luck, that sort of thing. But I tend to look at them as just another avenue for growth. It's bringing out the shadow self. It's deep into the shadow self and working with the shadow self. And the fact that it's in Gemini, which is the sign of the twins, there's a battle going on between the ego and the higher self. And Gemini also rules the mind. So it's going deep within our mental capacity to be able to dig down into the shadow self and to bring that forth, and then to be able to communicate with that shadow self in order to purge and to bring out things into the light. to be able to heal on a deeper level with regards to our personal will and our heart centers. So that's what I sort of see there. I've also noticed that Pluto, just for a short time, because Mars will be moving away from this opposition shortly, but at the time of the eclipse, Pluto and Mars are directly opposite one another, forming an opposition. Pluto in Capricorn in the 12th house and Mars in Cancer in the 6th house. Now, the 6th house on the mundane level is about daily life, work, service, our skills, our, what we do on a daily basis, our habits, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of energy with Mars around there at the moment, on a daily, driving us on a daily basis. But with the opposition to Pluto, there's a real power play there. Pluto being in the 12th house, the hidden, and in Capricorn and Earth sign, it's wanting us to dig really deep, dig right down to the roots of things and the unseen. The 12th house is all about unseen, hidden things, deep psychological, unconscious patterns. So there is that power play with Mars in the 6th house wanting, frantic energy, go on a daily basis with work, with routines, with habits, with, just getting about our business on a day-to-day basis. Pluto is really asking us to, there's this real power play with Pluto against that Mars energy, and Pluto is really wanting us to dig deep to be able to purge. So that's quite powerful with the that opposition as well. Now the chart ruler is Saturn. As I said, it's sitting there conjunct the ascendant. Now Uranus rules Aquarius, and also Saturn is the traditional ruler of Aquarius, Aquarius being the ascendant, which is the ruler of the chart. Uranus and Saturn are making a square aspect. So there's traditionally squares are blocks and challenges and very, very hard aspects. Now Uranus being in the 4th house, the 4th house is, among other things, about our inner security, our roots, our psychological patterns, and also the mother, the home, where we feel comfortable. So there's lots of sort of things being triggered there with our comfort zones, our security, even with the mother. We can look at the mother as in Mother Earth. Lots of changes. Uranus is all about change. Can be quite sudden changes as well. As I said before, Saturn is about the status quo, also representing Father Time as well, but making that square to Uranus in the 4th house is really bringing about some radical changes to the status quo and to the way things have always been done. So, as we all know, we are in tumultuous times. Things are changing very, very rapidly, and this is showing even more so in this chart at the time of the eclipse. I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be some quite sudden changes within the world, within the earth. I'm not necessarily saying that they're going to be cataclysmic. Sorry, get that word out. But we can expect some radical changes within Mother Earth, whether it's on an energetic level or actually physically happening in the world, or it could be a combination of both. But definitely that's indicated there with that square from Saturn to Uranus. Also, the Sun and Moon and Mercury are making a square to Neptune. Neptune's in Pisces in the second house. Second house is about our values and our worthiness. So on a more mundane day-to-day level, it's about our possessions and our money and that sort of thing. But on a deeper level, it's about our value systems. So that's being challenged as well by this eclipse. And with the Sun and Moon in Gemini, as I said before, there's a lot of shadow work, a lot of duality with the ego and the higher self, that toing and froing that is needing to be balanced out. And it's going to be triggering a lot of our self-worth and feelings of worthiness, and we're needing to really look at our value systems and what we actually really do value in our lives, letting go of a lot of things that no longer serve us. Maybe not chasing the almighty dollar anymore, or worrying too much about our status and where we sit as far as our career and our money and our possessions and what we have, but looking on a deeper level at what really matters in life, what our real inner true values are in life on a higher level. I think we're needing to really look at that. And with Neptune, it's going into the really sort of mystical, spiritual side of our nature, but also if we're not careful, it can bring about illusions. So we have to be very, very discerning when we're looking at things and not fall for illusions. As we all know, there's a lot of illusions and a lot of delusions going on in the world at the moment that we're having to sort through. So we're really needing to go with our instincts, our gut instincts, and our inner voice, our higher selves, our inner vision, and rely on our own true value and not external stimuli. Now, the planetary pattern in this chart that I've cast for the solar eclipse is what's known as a bowl, and the lead planet is Pluto, and then the end planet is Mars. So again, I touched on it before with the opposition, so the power struggle between Mars and Pluto, but also Pluto is the initiator in the bowl pattern of this chart. As I said before, Pluto is about digging deep into deep psychological and the unconscious and bringing it forward into the light of day to be purged and to be looked at and to be exposed. And but it's in the 12th house, so it's going to take a lot, and it's in retrograde too, so a lot of stuff that we've been triggered and that we may thought that we have worked on before and got through, there might still be a little bit left that we're needing to revisit and just get that last little bit out that has been stuck for such a long time in hidden places, in dark places. And then moving through all the rest of the bowl with all the other planetary influences, and then that driving force of Mars moving us forward, propelling us forward after we've done the hard work. There's going to be a lot of inner reflection needed, a lot of internal duality battles going on with the psyche collectively and on an individual level in our lives, within ourselves, within our relationships with one another. There's a lot of division going on at the moment, a lot of duality. We're going from 3D to 5D. A lot of us have got a foot in both 3D and 5D. A lot of us are totally immersed in one or the other. But at some point, humanity as a whole are evolving and ascending and moving into 5D. But in order to get there, we really need to shed this this inner battle, or work on this inner battle with ourselves, and to shed light on the shadow self, and to be able to break the chains of the past, and the deep psychological wounding that we have carried around for eons. And it's all purging and all happening right now in real time. And I think everybody is feeling it, and it's accelerating as we're coming into these end of days, and into the new era that's just around the corner. So there's lots going on here. Before a more in-depth study of the eclipse and how it plays out on an individual level, it's best to look at your own chart and just see what aspects these planets are making to your personal planets, which are the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and also the angles of your chart. So that is the ascendant, descendant, and the midheaven, and the IC, which is at the bottom of the chart, between the 3rd and 4th house, on the 4th house cusp. Okay, the Sun and Moon are making a trine with Saturn. Now, Saturn's not all bad. It does get a bad rap. It is, as I say, the planet of status quo and structure, and, all the rigidity that is needing to be broken down. That Uranus is starting to shatter now. But also it's when you put in the hard work and the discipline, Saturn actually does bring a lot of rewards. So with that nice trine between Saturn and the Sun and Moon, when we do this work, this inner work with the shadow self, and start to communicate on a higher level, it is going to bring a lot of rewards, and the discipline necessary is going to start to, avail itself to us. We're going to be put in positions where we will be able to put in the hard work, do what needs to be done in order to rise and to break free of a lot of the patterns and past trauma that we've had for such a long time. A lot of this too is on a karmic level and on a multi-dimensional or multi-life level, especially with the node there, the North Node. A lot of the stuff that we're working through individually and collectively is not just, it hasn't just come about in this lifetime. It's been intergenerational. It's been many, many lifetimes that we've lived. It's been many eras and eons of time as mankind and humanity as a whole, going through different ages. So we're dealing with lots of different levels. It's not just one level. There's multi levels to this that we're working on, and transmuting this energy, this deep shadow work that we're working on to bring up all this past trauma in order to shed light on it, and then to be able to ascend, to step out of this and to become powerful, and to raise our vibration and to truly awaken to the next level of where mankind, where we're headed, on the dawning of this new age, which we're all starting to see in real time. I think we're still on the cusp, but we're at the very tail end of the cusp, and we're actually stepping into this new age as we speak. So that's pretty much all I've got at the moment. I hope that wasn't too much rambling. As I said, I didn't really study this very much. I just printed it off and had a quick look at it. I'm sure there's going to be so much more that I see, but there's probably lots of different ways to look at it. There'll be a lot of other people out there that are interpreting what's going on with the eclipse. Also, depending on where your awareness is at, what level your awareness is, depends on how you see things. We're still not entirely sure what causes the eclipses. It's definitely not what we've been told. I'm not going to go into too much detail now of what I've been looking at, but in ancient texts, they talk about the moon's nodes, the north and south node, Rahu and Ketu, potentially are other celestial bodies that we actually don't see with our physical eyes that could also contribute to the eclipses. Also, there's been a bit of work done recently with some people with some high-tech stuff that are seeing other things in the sky. There's talk of the black sun, or a second sun, or a second light source that is out of our normal range of vision. So yeah, there's lots of people out there that are doing different experiments and things like that. So I'm not going to get into that right now here, but there's a lot of stuff that we don't know about eclipses still, even in 2021, because we have been lied to at every turn. So you can't rely on anything that we've been told or taught previously. We have to really start wiping the slate clean and coming up with new ideas, and really starting to study things again, and maybe going back into some really ancient texts and things like that to get clues as to what is really going on, and not believe the scientism that we've been fed for the last couple of 100 years. So, but that's a whole other subject, so I'll leave it at that for now. So I hope this made sense. If not, it's just me rambling about how I see things, and you can like it, or you can hit the thumbs down or move off to another video. It's up to you. But anyway, sending out love and many blessings to everybody, and I'll catch you in the next video.